In previous video, I already discussed about the disaster management cycle. So today I am going to start from disaster risk reduction and planning. Basically, disaster risk reduction is the concept and practice of reducing disaster risk through reduce the exposure to hazard and lesser the vulnerability of people and property, and wise management of land and also for environment to improve the preparedness and adverse event of disaster. Okay, so basically some guiding principles are there during risk reduction process, like effective disaster risk reduction requires community participation, and also the states have the primary responsibilities for implementing measures to reduce the disaster risk. Also, disaster risk reduction must be integrated into development activities. A multi-hazard approach can improve effectiveness, and also the capacity development is the need to be built to maintain the ability of people. Okay, so it covers activities which support the preparedness, prevention, and mitigation from local to an international level, right? So the disaster risk reduction framework is composed of the following fields of action, like a policy framework. A policy framework backed by legal and institutional mechanism that focuses on risk management and must be outlined. Then risk assessment based on the hazard and the community resilience must be done. Risk awareness is another step, where having assessed the risk, the next step is to be make the stakeholders and the decision makers to be aware for the risk, enabling government and civil society to take some decision. Implementation of the plan must be implemented and taking all the stakeholders into the account, including the measures like environment management, urban planning, and then a key factor is early warning system. This is a very key part of risk reduction through provision of timely and reliable information through identifies the institution, and also the use of the knowledge. The effective disaster risk management depends on the participation of all the stakeholders and the exchange of information easily from lower level to higher level. Next is relief and rehabilitation. When an emergency or a disaster affect a city or a region, efforts are conducted initially to care for the wounded, to restore their lifelines and basic services, and subsequently to restore the livelihoods and reconstruct the communities. So such effort can be structured in the some following phase. One phase is the relief phase, and second one is the rehabilitation phase. In the relief phase, yeah, the immediate aftermath of the disaster activities such as search and rescue, rapid damage, and also the assessment and the provision of the relief and the first aid are conducted. Okay, temporary shelters are also be opened for those who have the homeless, and also the humanitarian assistance is provided to those affected areas. And in the rehabilitation phase refers to the action takes in the aftermath of a disaster to enable the basic service, like the resuming the functioning, the revive the economic activities, and also provide support for mentally and also the social well-being for the survivor. So in this phase basic services are and also the lifelines are restored, even a temporary basis, including the road network and other essential facilities like airport or bridges or helicopter landing site. It focuses on the affected population to resume the more and more for pattern of life. Okay, so it may be considered as the transitional phase between the immediate relief and for more major and long term development phase. Okay.